good morning. Okay. Say good morning. Say hi to the vlog. Welcome back to the vlog. Hey. Good morning and welcome to the vlog. And today it's a chilled morning. It's a chilled Saturday morning, and I thought I'd do a face mask. I usually do this DIY mask when my skin feels a bit dull and I feel like, it feels dull. So I first went in with this cleansing oil, and then I'm going to mask for a couple of minutes. So you want the mask to be this consistency. You know what I've been thinking lately? I've been thinking, because I've been seeing videos like randomly, but for a good while, where people, have their aura back. Not aura, their spark. Have their spark back, and they're like, I got my spark back, I woke up and my spark was back. And I was like, so randomly this week, during the week, randomly I was just sitting and I was like, how do you know when you have your spark back? Because I'm one of those people who feel like the past year I lost my spark. So I was like, I wonder how will you know when your spark is back, especially when you feel like you're no longer the same. You're not the same person anymore. Like you're different, and so how will you know that your spark is back? And it's been quite an interesting thought, because I also feel like I don't think I've gotten my spark back. I think I'm getting my spark back. And one of the telling signs that I was getting my spark back is that I'm starting to enjoy things, and it's new discoveries because, like I said, like grief changes you, you know, like when you've been burned out, when you've been neglecting yourself, like you change, you become a whole different person. And for a while you're trying to reacquaint with yourself, but you don't know who this person is because for the past 30 plus years I've known this person, I've grew up with this person. Then suddenly it's like your eyes open and this veil lifts, and when it lifts you're like, you know, sort of more like, I don't want to say an existential crisis, but something along those lines where you're like, who's this person and how do I get myself back? And for the longest time, I was like, okay, I was fighting to get myself back. But then I just realized this past week, like I had this epiphany this week that, no, you're a new person now, and get to know this new person. And I think that's where the spark is coming from, because I'm learning who I am again. I'm becoming a new person. I don't know, I thought I'd share those random thoughts. I know they're not coherent thoughts because it's like a new thought in me, and I'm like, how do you know? Like, somebody please tell me, how do you know you have your spark back? And I don't mean like the aesthetic of it. Obviously, like with me, for example, with myself, like when I'm stressed out, the first thing that goes bad is my skin. I can use all types of skincare products and my skin will just not budge. I'll insert a picture here to just show you how my skin was looking for the past few years. I'll show you before, during, and now, how my skin's looking, and I'm like, okay, on the outside I can see that I'm going back to, because I had lost myself. Even on the outside I didn't look familiar, I looked different. Even people could recognize that have known me for years, like, okay, you don't look yourself, you know. But also, like, on the inside I feel like you also get your spark back on the inside. And I think that on the inside it looks like reacquainting with yourself. You become friends with yourself again, you get to know, you give yourself a chance, because this whole time you have a relationship with yourself and it's like you fall out of that relationship with yourself, and for a while you are fighting this stranger. You're like, I don't know who you are you fighting for who you were, and you want to be that person. Meanwhile your body is like, no, your spirit is like, no, let me re-emerge this whole new soul in you, let me revive your soul, let me give you a new being. You know, you become a new being when that whole persona kind of lifts and shatters. And I'm enjoying that, because for the longest time I had no idea what was going on. Like, I didn't know. Like, I keep saying the same thing, but I didn't know who I was. For someone who's very self-aware and knows who they are, that's why I felt so lost, because for the first time in my life, in a long time, since my teen years, the last time I figured who I was in my teens. Obviously I evolved over the years, and you'll always learn who you are. you never truly figure yourself out. There's always, because life happens, good things happen, they change your perspective, bad things happen, they change your perspective. And I feel like when that perspective shifts, something in your mind, in your spirit also shifts, and you start seeing things from a different lens. And I feel like that's where I am, and I feel like it change, like I can feel, which I'm glad, because the change is on the inside too. Like I feel more of myself, like the stranger has now become an acquaintance, and I'm enjoying their company, I'm enjoying getting to know them, I'm enjoying exploring new things, and be like, okay, I'm giving myself a chance. And I think that's the joy of starting over, and why you shouldn't hold yourself when you have to start over, or when you have to reinvent yourself, rebrand yourself, however way you can phrase it, or whatever that space, that in between space where you feel like you're in a limbo, you don't know whether to go forward, to stay put, or you can't go back, that's for sure. But don't be afraid to, one, lose everything, because that's what happened to me. I feel like I've lost everything, including myself. But now, you know I'm arising from the ashes, and it's good, it feels good, and I'm excited for this new phase in my life. I'm excited to explore myself more, and I'm glad that I can bring you guys with me on this journey. You can come along with me, and we can do this together and get to know each other more, get to know this phase in life we are in, because I believe if you are here, you are meant to be here. We are meant to cross paths. I don't believe that we just come across people. We don't stumble upon people. We come across people so that we can be changed, they can be changed, and we can form our own community. And like I said in my last video, we can form a little community, bloom together, and yeah, and have exciting share experiences, help each other learn, share each other's wisdom. And I'm excited about that, and I'm glad you are here, and thank you so much for being here. And if it's the first time you are here, and the first time you come across, or you've been kind of watching me from a distance, please consider subscribing and stick around, and let's see where this beautiful journey takes us. And I know that it's gonna be one hell of a good ride, and there'll be so much more that we can share together, and we can get to know together. So yeah, so I'm just gonna let this sit for a while, and we'll catch up a bit later. Thank you so much for being here. We've reached to the end of the video. I'm just gonna sit here literally the whole day, watch TV, and do a bit of reading. I'm reading this book, and it has been quite helpful. And I wanted to read you guys something. I wanted to take something out of the book, and it says, you may not have the gift of enthusiasm, but perhaps you have the courage to attempt hard things. A patience that never tires, a contagious cheerfulness, the ability to make others see things as you do. or the gift of appreciating other people's good qualities, which is one of the finest of all. You certainly have some gift, for God says so. So I just wanted to close the video with that passage, with that quote from this book, that you do have the gift, and I hope that you'll give yourself a chance. And yeah, that's it for me. I feel like I've been just yapping, and I'm not sure how this video is gonna look like, but thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.